When you are singing a song, it is absolutely imperative that you find a way to connect to the lyrics of that song personally. Now, this may seem difficult in some ways. I mean, if you're a classical singer singing an art song, which basically the art song is all about the beautiful trees and the sun shining through the trees, and it's just describing that beautiful image. It might feel strange to try to find a personal connection to that, okay? Because it's just a song about sun through the trees, right? But the thing is that there is always a way to connect and find some personal thread that you can tell your story through those songs. So for instance, if there is a song about a tree and the sun shining through it, more than just describing a tree with the sun shining through it, you could perhaps think back to a time where you were happy and content, and you were sitting in a park, and you happen to look up and you see this little bird, and the bird flies into the tree, and that you realize that for the first time in a long time, you are in the moment, appreciating the beauty that is around you, and that it reminds you of how much love you feel for the life that you are living. I don't know. I mean, that could be something, all right? And then sometimes there is a song that you would be singing that perhaps the way that it was originally written or the way that it was originally performed is in a very particular dramatic way, but you don't have any kind of connection to what that particular story is. Like, for instance, a song called Loving You from the musical Passion by Stephen Sondheim is sung by this main character who is an older woman who has fallen very, very deeply in love with a younger man who will never, ever respond to her in the way that she wants. So that her love actually is an obsession more than it is a healthy and reciprocal love. And so she sings a song called Loving You, in which she's explaining to him how, loving him is not a choice. It is something visceral inside of her. And there is a level of desperation in her character at this moment when she is basically confessing that she is completely obsessed with this man and desperately longs for him. Now, I don't have that experience, okay? I mean, I've been in love plenty of times, but I've never had the kind of experience where there is a desperation attached to that love, an obsessiveness attached to that love. And so, therefore, I can't necessarily sing this song with my truth from that vantage point. So what I have to do is I have to look at the lyric and I have to try to figure out what is my connection to it. So the first words of this first verse of this song is, loving you is not a choice, it's who I am. Loving you is not a choice and not much reason to rejoice, but it gives me purpose, it gives me voice to say to the world, this is why I live. You are why I live. Okay? So the thing is that, loving you is not a choice. In her context, she's saying that she feels this love so deep and so viscerally and so obsessively that she has no control over it, and then she says, and not much reason to rejoice. And in a way, that could be interpreted in her mind that it's so obsessive, it's taking over her world, and actually maybe even gives her more pain than joy because that love is not reciprocated. But what I could do is I could look at that lyric and say, loving you is not a choice, it's who I am, just as something that I fell into joyfully. It's not something that I expected. It's just something that became part of me the minute that I met this person that I love. Loving you is not a choice, and not much reason to rejoice. Maybe that is sort of tongue in cheek, like, I mean, we don't have to, throw a parade or shoot off fireworks or anything. But loving you gives me this purpose. It gives me a voice to say to everyone, this is why I'm here. I'm here to spread this love and this joy. You are why I live. Okay? So in that way, this song doesn't have to become melancholy or desperate or obsessive, but instead it can become intimate and casual and easy, like the love that I have felt for the person that I love. So it might sound something like this. Loving you is not a choice. It's who I am. Loving you is not a choice and not much reason to rejoice, but it gives me purpose, it gives me voice to say to the world, this is why I live. You are why I live. So that's how you can find a connection to a lyric. Make it about you and your story. And then all the truth will come out, and it will be uniquely yours.